Hello everyone and welcome to Nervous Nessie. This is the second video in my series about the 50 states and my recommendations for some of the best of the United States. In this video, we are going to talk about my top 5 states that you are going to want to visit here in the United States. Now, everyone has their own opinion about what they enjoy, but I promise you, if you go to these 5 states, you will not be disappointed at all. The number 5 state, which we are going from 5 to 1, with 1 being the best, the number 5 state I recommend would be Utah. Why? The national parks. This state is absolutely beautiful. You have multiple national parks. You have Zion, you have Moab is out there, you have Salt Lake City is there, Arches National Park, Canyonlands National Park. You have so many national parks and cities and things to do in Utah, and it is absolutely beautiful. There's a lot of mountains there because the Rocky Mountains do run through there. You have a lot of tunnels in through the mountains. You have a lot of scenery that you can't find anywhere else in the United States. Utah is absolutely beautiful. And so if you ever get a chance, go to Utah. Now, if you're gonna go there, I would recommend either staying in Salt Lake City, which is a little bit higher, a little bit more north in the state, more centralized, so that you can hit some of the parks like Canyonlands and Arches National Park, or go and stay in Las Vegas, because from Las Vegas you have about a 2-hour drive and you can hit all of the lower national parks in Utah. My number 4 state that you're going to want to visit is Wyoming. And why would you go to Wyoming? Yellowstone. You gotta go to Yellowstone. It is just beautiful. Between Yellowstone, Grand Teton, and Devil's Tower on the other side of the state, Wyoming is absolutely beautiful. There's a lot of nature there that you can easily see simply by driving through the state. The great thing is there's not a lot else there. So you get to see nature how it's supposed to be. If you want to stay in Wyoming, try to avoid cities like Jackson or Jackson Hole, because those are very touristy. They are very, very expensive to stay in. Stay in some of the outlying areas, or if you really want to get into the thick of it, and it may cost you, you could actually stay in Yellowstone, because there are hotels in Yellowstone. My number 3 state that I recommend you going to is Hawaii. Hawaii has a lot to offer that you cannot find in any other state. They have volcanoes there. Where else are you going to find a volcano, an active volcano in the United States? Hawaii has a lot to offer. You have beautiful, lush jungles there. Just the Big Island alone has every climate on Earth. That is mind-blowing. Just in that small, and it is small relative to the rest of the world and to the rest of the United States, just on the Big Island, which is pretty small, you have every single climate. You have jungle, you have desert, you have prairie lands, you have snow-capped mountains and Arctic weather. It is insane to think that all of that is in one single place. And you have the ocean too, which has its own environment. You can do so many activities while you're there. You can go snorkeling. You can do a tour to the top of the mountain there and, be with the snow and go to the observatory up there. You can do a helicopter tour over the volcano. I mean, there's so much there that you can do. And that is just one island. You can also either take a boat, or I recommend getting on to a small flight and do island hopping. Every island is completely different. So if you have the means, go island hopping with different little planes to where you can get a full experience of everything that Hawaii has to offer. And just like Hawaii having unique things that you won't find anywhere else, my number 2 is going to be Alaska. Where else can you really go dog sledding? Where else can you go ice fishing? Yes, there are some of the northern states in the United States that do that, but to really get immersed in it, where you are on the middle of a frozen lake that probably never ever thaws. And if it does, it's not until the very thick of summer. There's so much there that you can see, and it's a different environment. It's not just snow. The air is different there. The water is different there. Everything hits different in Alaska. Coffee, hot chocolate hits completely different in Alaska. Just because of the water they use, the air, the temperature difference, there's so much different that is there because of how far north it is. And then of course you have the Aurora Borealis. Now, granted, in recent years, the Aurora Borealis has come down further into the United States at times, but if you want to experience it regularly and really experience it, not just the sky looks a little different, no, like the sky is moving kind of Aurora Borealis, then go to Alaska. It is worth every penny to go there. And my number 1 state is probably going to be a little controversial. There will probably be a lot of you who will disagree with me on this, but just hear me out. My number 1 state that you should go to is California. Why? Because there's something for everyone. And I know this because I live here. I live in California. Whether it is San Diego and you're down on the wharf and you're walking around and you have the San Diego Zoo and you have SeaWorld, or you come a little further north into Orange County and Los Angeles where there's Hollywood. There's so much to see along the way just in that little corridor. But then you're only a third, if not just a fourth of the way through the state. You have the entire middle of the state that you go through. And if you take the PCH, the Pacific Coast Highway, then you're riding the road all the way up the coast, which is the most stunning coast you will see. It is absolutely beautiful. And then you make it up to San Francisco in the north, which is its own environment, its own city, its own hustle bustle. It has so much to offer there. But not just that, all along in the center of the state, you have a lot to see and do. You have Yosemite National Park, you have the Redwoods, you have so many. California, I believe is, and I could be wrong, but I believe California may be the one state that has the most national parks. And this state is huge. It is absolutely massive compared to all the other states. Texas is huge. I have been there. Alaska is obviously even bigger. But I'm talking about not just the size, but just the amount of things to do. So it's one thing to have Alaska being the biggest state, but there are pockets of Alaska that allow you to see and do things, and the rest is just remote. Texas, there's a lot of open farmland, and then you have cities and places where you can do things. But California, the entire state is covered with stuff to see and do. Where else can you go surfing in the morning and then go snow skiing in the afternoon? And I know that's kind of controversial because a lot of people think the worst of California. They think everyone out here is crazy and it's a lot of crime and this and that. And it's not. I mean, you have that, but it is completely offset by everything else. You have Disneyland, you have Universal Studios, you have all these parks that you can go to. You could spend an entire week just in one city and not even see the full city. And that's not even the whole state. I mean, just Los Angeles. When I have friends and family members come to Los Angeles, there are specific key areas that I take them to. And in my head, I'm thinking, you saw a lot and you had an extremely packed experience and you've seen nothing compared to what is actually out there to see. So that is why California is number one. Because yes, you have big cities like Los Angeles, San Francisco, San Diego, but you also have beautiful national parks like Joshua Tree, Death Valley, Yosemite, Redwoods. I could keep going. I hope that you like this video. If you are curious about any of those 5 states, feel free to leave any questions below in the comments. And if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. And I look forward to seeing everyone in the next video, which we talk about my top 5 cities in the United States that you'll want to visit. But until then, bye!